I have a crazy idea. I'm here at Lisvane and Thornhill, and I've always wanted to walk all the way across the Severn Bridge. I'm at a loose end today. You know what you do when you're at loose end? You just go, I'm going to walk across the Severn Bridge. Let's pick off some stations along the way and go for a walk. Wish me luck. Surely the only way is down. I don't want to leave Wales. I love Wales. It's just magnificent. I want to go up there. A GWR are going to whisk me into Bristol. Why would anybody walk down here? Okay, when's the next train? Hang on. Hang on. It's not just a walk across the Severn Bridge. I've got to walk to Severn Beach, which is the same distance again. Anyway, first stop, Cardiff, change trains, Chepstow. Look at it. It's a thing of beauty.
Welcome on board Transport for Wales. We will be travelling to Cardiff Central.
So these are the new Stadler Flare Class 231s, and inside they are super nice. Definitely recommend coming down to ride one of these. I think that's a bug in the display view at the last stop. There were no more stops. That announcement was really cheery. I need coffee. I'm on day 2 in the Cardiff area, and you know what? I'm loving Cardiff Central Station. I'm waiting for the train towards Cheltenham Spa now. Considering I assume platform 0 is fairly new, those platform gaps are enormous. This is quite a difference from getting off that 231. So
welcome on board Transport for Wales. We will be travelling to Cheltenham Spa.
So at the end of these 3 coach units, there's this like not a first class section. Like in the future, this is going to become an upgraded section, but right now you can sit in here on standard class tickets.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it.
Okay, so I'm going to be walking over that. Wish me luck.
Rydyn ni nawr yn nesau at Casgwent.
We are now approaching Chepstow.
Chepstow station seems really, really, really nice. Kind of like heritagey. But the service it gets, especially on a Sunday, is absolutely shocking for a town like Chepstow. It's every 2 hours each way on a Sunday. In the week, it's every hour. Even every hour is bad for here. Definitely need to get some better services here. I have put into Google Maps my destination of Severn Beach, 8.6 miles, 3 hours, 8 minutes to England. Wait, I'm supposed to go up there? Okay, so in theory it's all down Foothill from here. Chepstow has a wall. I think the sign said it was a medieval wall. I can do this. Psyching myself up. Now, surely the only way is down. 2.5 kilometres in. I'm right on the edge of Chepstow. Just about to go under the motorway so we can take the path on the other side. There are paths on both sides, but I want to take the one on the other side because I know that's got an easy cut through back to the services on the England side. I think once I've got over this, I'm going to deserve a Costa. The M48 is up there. We're walking alongside it, and eventually we're going to make our way up to the first of the actual 2 bridges. A lot of people don't know there's 2 bridges here. I've always had an affinity with the Severn Bridge. I grew up in the Midlands and we spent a lot of our lives in the southwest. I remember distinctly the second Severn crossing being built, and I've always said, one day I want to walk all the way over. Now don't get me wrong, not by any stretch of the imagination is this some massive feat. Like ultimately my entire journey is going to be like just over 8 miles. That's not a long distance, but for me personally in my life right now, that is quite a long distance, and I'm doing this just to prove to myself that right now I can do this. I'm planning on putting this video out of sequence in the Gen timeline, so we're probably in the middle of the Southeastern Mainline series right now, where I just completely I have to bail on a walk at Elmstead Woods because I'm not fit enough. That was a month and a half ago. I've worked so hard on my fitness in that month and a half, and If you would have said then that I'm doing this now, I would have laughed in your face. So for me personally, if I do this, this is a massive achievement. Let's go to the bridge. That's not a very high barrier separating me from that traffic. What a lot of people don't realise is what you think of as the Severn Bridge is actually two bridges. The Severn Bridge itself is actually wholly in England. That's not the border between Wales and England at all. The first bridge we need to cross is this smaller Wye Bridge, and here the border between England and Wales is on the Wye Bridge. Halfway along here, I will have entered England. You've got the second Severn crossing over there. This is nice. Thing is though, the Wye Bridge, the first of these two bridges, in itself is a really impressive bridge. But the problem is it's just completely overshadowed by its sister, the Severn Bridge. Right now, I'm still in Wales, just for a little bit longer. I don't want to leave Wales. I love Wales. Technical details of the Wye Bridge. It's a cable-stayed bridge, the same as the second Severn crossing, while the original Severn Bridge, the one we're going to get to in a minute, is a suspension bridge. Everybody thinks of like the second Severn crossing as a suspension bridge. It's not. Right, last few moments in Wales. I'm calling it. We're halfway along the Wye Bridge. I'm in England. That was anticlimactic. We've just left the Wye Bridge. We're now over dry land on the beachy viaduct, I think it's called, approaching the main event, the Severn Bridge. And at this stage, this is where we're moving from the viaduct onto the Severn Bridge itself, the Severn Suspension Bridge. So for context, we'll walk all the way over there, all the way down the coast there, and Severn Beach is on the other side of the second Severn crossing. I'm nowhere near even halfway yet. There are bigger bridges. There are more impressive bridges. And I don't care, because this one is just magnificent. My favourite bridge. This bridge opened in 1966. It replaced the Orst ferry. The piers of that we're actually going to go and see when we're down on the bank. That was a small vehicle ferry that crossed the Severn here. It was originally the M4 and it was the main way between London and Wales. Only 2 lanes. It very quickly became overloaded. Come the 90s, off the top of my head I can't remember the exact year, but in the 90s that was built. The M4 was redirected onto that, and now that takes most of the traffic. Right now there are roadworks on that bridge, which I think is why this one's a little bit busier than it normally would be. 5 kilometres into the overall walk, 1 hour and 6 minutes, which for me is actually a little bit slower. I can do 5k in about 50 minutes, walking, not running. To Bryn, there's some pylons for you. To G, is that not the biggest Blackpool tower that you've ever seen? Behind me is the second of the towers. I love it. I love the Severn Bridge. Favourite bridge by a long way. And there we go. We're now off the Severn Bridge proper, onto just the smaller bridge viaduct on this side. That building up there on the side of the cliff is the old Orst Services. It's now renamed as Severn View Services, and ironically when they renamed it, they took away the view. I want to go up there. One final look back across the bridge before we hit dry land. That was the Severn Bridge, and I'm so glad I've done that. A moment of calm and tranquility ahead of crossing over the motorway to get to the viewpoint. I'm fit and healthy now. I can do this. So the abandoned buildings that are here on the England side of the bridge, they're all to do with the old toll plaza that was here underneath this bridge. The tolls were removed a few years ago. All of this was grassed over, and now people just go over the bridge completely free. I'm in the service area a bit now. Take this fairly overgrown footpath back towards the bridge. Doesn't take you to the bridge, but it takes you to an amazing viewpoint. I was over there, top of that hill. Now I'm here, and I'm only halfway into my journey. I've just walked over that. That's something I've wanted to do for years and years and years. And I feel great. I don't feel tired. I don't feel like I've just knackered myself. I've come on a long way in a month and a half. It's never too late to start looking after yourself. It's never too late to change how you're going to live your life. Make some good choices. Do things like this. Right, I'm halfway through the walk. Let's go to Severn Beach. The Severn Bridge, opened by Queen Lizzie, 8th of September 1966. This way, back across this bridge. We're going to pick up the coast path. Top of the world. Loving it. Now I know this isn't the type of content I normally make, but this is something that meant a lot to me, and I wanted to share it with you guys, especially since the last but one video that went out showed me really struggling. So I just want to reassure you people watching, I'm doing well. I had the wake-up call that I needed, and I've changed quite a few things in my life, including my hair colour. Okay, we're down on the banks now. Severn Bridge, second Severn crossing. This is the old Ost ferry slipway. Surface is here. What is annoying is a lot of what was here has been lost, I think, connected to these flood defences that are being put in. There used to be an abandoned building here that I think was the ticket office and toilets and things. I'm not right now going to go out onto the pier. It's not that safe and I'm on my own. I wouldn't advise you do it, especially if you're on your own. I've been out a few times with other people, but definitely don't do it on your own. There's some very loose logs that way, and you're traipsing through all of this. I'll put some pictures on screen right now of the times that I have been here. It's just a really interesting location because this is how you cross the Severn before that. There was a tiny little boat, I think it was a Severn Princess. It had a turntable on it. Cars drove on. And there's a corresponding pier on the other side. I've also hopefully got pictures that I can put on screen. And you just continue your journey. Oh God, I had a scare just then. I just did a battery change and my camera wouldn't turn back on. I thought it had died its last death. I'd be quite happy if this camera died, so I could justify a new one. Not a fan of the Sony ZV-1. I'm open to suggestions on what my next camera should be. Might mean that I need to go less far for a few months to be able to afford a new one, but I would be glad to get rid of this camera. Just hit 10 kilometers, 2 hours 25 minutes, and I still feel great. Home straight now, all the way down the coast to Severn Beach, where GWR are going to whisk me into Bristol. My feet are killing me, not because of my fitness, because this path is relentless. I think it's the Environment Agency that have done loads of work to this, and they've just covered it in stone. And I think my trainers have now had it. It's quite telling, I haven't seen anybody for miles. Why would anybody walk down here? I would absolutely love to tell you to walk this bit of the coastal path, because the views from here are breathtaking. I talk a lot about things that are mine. The River Severn is my river. It's the river I grew up with. None of this medlock for me. River Severn all the way. But I can't tell you to come here. They have destroyed this footpath. It is soul destroying to walk along here, which is a shame. Tarmac, beautiful, beautiful tarmac. I said I love the Severn Bridge a lot, but I do also love the second Severn Bridge. And I don't care what anybody says, it's not the Prince of Wales Bridge. And that seems like the perfect opportunity to say a massive, massive thank you to my lovely Patreons and YouTube supporters. They're scrolling on the screen right now. Without them, making videos just wouldn't be possible. Thank you so much for your support. And if you want to get your name onto the list that's scrolling on screen right now, the links to do so are in the description. Thank you so much. From an engineering point of view, it is definitely the bigger and more impressive bridge. This is cool. I like this. This is very, very cool. At this stage, we are also very close to the Severn railway tunnel. Obviously, you can't walk through that. And now we've got under that, let's dip to black, and I'll see you at Severn Beach Station. Severn Beach Station. Okay, when's the next train? Hang on. 15:45 platform bus. I do not like... I've just walked from Chepstow. Sunday the 18th to Friday the 21st of August 2024. Severn Beach line closed for engineering work. It is currently the 18th of August. I should have done this yesterday. I mean, luckily I've already been here. I must admit, I did know about the replacement bus. I'm not here on my own.
That's fortuitous.
I know, right? It's almost like you now need to go back up north.
Yeah, I think I do, possibly.
This is Chris from Rail Focus. I'm only in the south, piggybacking on the back of some of the videos that you're making on South Wales Metro. If you want to see stuff about South Wales Metro, go subscribe. Links everywhere.
Please do.
I've finally done the thing that I wanted to do for years. It ended up being 15.05 kilometres. That's the longest I've walked in one go in years. So you've just seen very past me get very unfit in London. Me, a month and a half later, I'm doing a lot better because I'm not even feeling out of breath. So on that note, I'm going to leave a link here to the next video I think you should watch. But until next time, bye-bye. Ow, my arm.